Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Good Life Bookstore. Another rendition of Seen and Spoken. It's your co-host, Good Life Russ.
I'm your other co host, apparently, Chloe Simone. We are here with Mr. Janus Lucky. You guys are in for a treat. I can't wait for this interview to progress and go off as it traditionally does. And we want to give the floor to Mr. Lucky to introduce himself to you guys and tell you who he is.
Hi, guys, and thank you for having me. It's a privilege and honor to be on this live stream at the moment. So I'm Janus Lucky. I'm from New Zealand, which is place far, far away in the middle of nowhere, a place where we have eternal summer and no snakes and other dangerous animals. So this is a safe place to be, paradise on earth, as they say. So I'm originally from Finland. I immigrated 20 years ago to New Zealand to escape minus 15 degrees winters, 2 meters snow, and gloomy people. So I came to New Zealand with my Finnish sarcastic sense of humor and dark mind, which is not clouded by anything else but hopeful thoughts. So I write murder mysteries because I love killing people on pages and thus give people hope that we will get rid of baddies at some point.
Well, that was a great introduction. Thank you
Yeah,
for that.
and we're moving.
So, where I like to start with the authors is the beginning. So, tell us a little bit about growing up reading. Did you ever come from a reading household? Did you find books on your own? What was that like for you?
Well, I was grown up on a farm in Finland in the middle of nowhere. It was really rural setting. And because it was late 50s, early 60s, there were no TV, we have radio, of course, no phones. So books were the only ones that were around. So I refused to learn to read because I hated my teacher. But
Mm.
my mother was an avid reader, so she was reading me everything from Finnish national epic Kalevala to novels and even to Agatha Christie and everything in between. So I was kind of immersed and marinated by books and stories from very early age. And then came summer. I was 7 or 8 years, 7 years old, and because it was farm, my parents were busy with the farm work, so nobody was reading me. So I had to learn myself to read because I wanted to read Jerry Cotton. Jerry Cotton was a Finnish-made FBI agent that was hunting criminals in Manhattan, New York. So I learned to read, and then I learned to go around Manhattan because I wanted to know what it is like. So I had maps, and I
Mm.
memorized the streets and avenues and whatnot, from New York. So that was interesting link from Finland to New York and USA. So I started then to read. I was first reader. I went to the local school library and then the town library, and I was just reading, reading, reading. And I wanted to become a writer and theater director at some point. So my first creative things were writing stories and poetry when I was just small boy. But then when I was teenager, I founded my first theater group and I started to direct plays.
Wow.
That led me to when I was 24, I was recruited to Finnish Broadcasting Company's radio theater, where I was trained as a radio theater director, and I was able to work with really, really talented, good Finnish professional actors. So that was fun. And then
Nice.
my writing didn't really progress because I was working with two good writers. So I
Mm-hmm.
had the imposter syndrome. Because I
Mm.
was,
Gotcha.
directing works of Shakespeare and works of contemporary writers. I
Mm.
thought I will never be able to reach that bar. So then, long story short, I left theater in 1990. I I went to business. I created the first digital design agency in Finland, which then grew like a mushroom. We became the biggest player in Finland in that field. And it was a new way of telling stories because we were able to use video, animation, interactivity, all those things that nobody knew before. So that was my 90s, telling stories through digital medium. And when I moved to New Zealand, I kind of started to yearn back to my creative roots. And about 3 years ago, I decided to, oh no, 5 years ago, I decided to jump off from the corporate hamster wheel. I was a principal consultant, and I just didn't want to be anymore sitting at the meetings. And I started to coach people, but then one night I got this strange dreamlike thing, 3 a.m.-ish in the morning, and saw Mr. Pekka Wall, Finnish editor and translator, becoming an amateur sloth, and suddenly the whole story was there. And I went to my home office and I jotted down the whole 6-book series, plot line.
Wow.
So that happened 3 years ago, and now I have already 4 done.
Yes,
Yeah.
books.
Yes.
And just next week will be official launch of the latest one, which is the Maori Murders, Death
Yes.
of. So that's in a nutshell my 70 years on this planet Earth.
Well, I love
Okay.
that. That's amazing. And first of all, I just want to like shout out to us for being international because we
Yeah.
are worldwide.
Well, when you got the movie rights, let us know.
Yeah,
'Cause that sound
absolutely.
I
your
will.
life sounds like a movie.
It does.
I hope so, because that would be my retirement plan.
So, question about that. I think it's really interesting that you actually transitioned from reading books to having plays performed to actual digital media, but you came back and found your home back in books. What is special about holding a book in your hand?
The smell.
Yes.
It's funny because I've always fascinated by the smell of books, and because I'm not J.K. Rowling, so I'm not the best spelling author, but I'm definitely the best smelling author. So much so that I even will launch my own perfume, Janus Lucky Noir perfume, next week. So that will be globally available in a couple of
Yes.
months. I'm working with the local perfumery, and he's fantastic guy, and he's now designing my noir perfume.
Okay.
So that's kind of being best smelling author gives me joy.
I love that. That
He
that's
said
going somewhere.
that's what I like to see. So, can you help us understand the climate in New Zealand? Are there book fairs? Are there events? How does
Well,
that? And you've been in the States, so what are some of the differences?
well, in New Zealand, people play rugby, so
Okay.
they don't bloody read. So that was my first biggest culture shock when I 20 years ago moved here from Finland, because Finland is filled with libraries,
Okay.
and people really read there compared to New Zealand 10 times more. And when I came here, people didn't go to the library so much. The only books they were buying were those bestsellers.
Yeah.
And then because this is small country, only 5 million people, so there is really no reader base for my kind of writer. So because I'm kind of LGBTQ writer who writes about the gays and marginalized people, so there's not much market. And to my great surprise, my readers are coming from United States, UK, and Canada,
Wow.
which is so that's really strange, because nobody knows me here. but I will get emails from USA and UK from the readers. So
Hmm.
that's it puzzles me because Kiwis, the New Zealanders, are really laid back and nice people. This is really, if you ever come here, you will find this very friendly and safe and inviting environment. But
Hmm.
maybe so inviting and easy that people then don't need to have this kind of intellectual yearning to read,
Mm.
Oh, okay.
That.
because the nature is gorgeous. Like when I'm sitting
Yeah.
here, I'm looking at the eastern hills, native bush, evergreen. So it's kind of it, you don't need to really read here to enjoy life. Whereas in
Mhm.
Finland, you bloody need to read because outside is -20 and everything is shit.
Just letting me do it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
it, I'm gonna tell you, I had my question and I kind of got sidetracked a little bit with that one. But so I love that. And you were talking about like the nature and the culture of people where you
Yeah.
are. But you specifically like to write about maybe like the disadvantaged or the marginalized
Yeah.
people. So where did that come from for you?
I have always had really strong sense of justice and
Mhm.
because I was bullied when I was a small boy because I was
Mhm.
different. Because in a rural countryside, if you are a boy who likes to read, who hates
Mhm.
all versions of sports
Hmm.
and
Okay.
likes classical music, it just marginalizes you big time.
Yeah.
So I didn't fit into that mold,
Mhm.
and so I developed really early on sense of justice and injustice, and I knew that those people who are bullied, they usually don't have a voice. Nobody
Mm.
believes, but because I had very strong support from my family, and they didn't give a rat's ass about whether I'm different or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So the love from my family gave me, this grounding. So I wasn't disturbed by the bullying. I was just showing the middle finger, which
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
always help. It
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I had very very sharp tongue. So uh, quite often, the fist that was coming to me, I was able to stop it with my words.
Yeah.
So those bullies started to be afraid of what the fuck is this guy going to say.
Yeah. What's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why he's big in America.
And then it's funny because then you realize that if you are a storyteller, you need to tell stories that give people hope,
Yeah.
give people dignity they deserve. And that's why I for example choose my protagonist Pekka Wall, because around him those people uh, deserve to be described and given the chance to voice their concerns about the world, and then
Mm.
being funny, because quite often I think that people take themselves a bit too seriously.
Yeah.
Well, when I, for example, look your dear leader, this magnificent orange leader, it's just, has he ever been able to look at the mirror and really laugh?
Yeah.
Never seen him having a belly laugh. And I think, if he would do that, he would shit in his pants and, finally realize that his rear is more open than his mind.
You might start having fun for once. You never know. So before we talk about the books, because we would love a preview of the books, not too much. They still got to go buy it, but
Yeah.
just enough. But I wanted to know: are the characters in your story made up characters, or are they people that showed up in your life? And do you see yourself in the characters?
Well, all my characters are taken from the world of the readers.
Okay.
So the readers will see those characters around themselves.
Yes.
And it so happens that uh, all the characters have fragments of me,
Okay.
but they are not like portraits of me or anybody else, because
Yeah.
I'm boring one. So I live this bloody hermit crap life somewhere, in my cave, and there's nothing interesting in how I live, because I just read books, I listen music, and try to avoid social.
Yeah.
So then I created those people who are interesting, who are
Okay.
complex, who are kind of not so evident, self-evident, and when you read about those characters, you might feel that, oh shit, why did he
Hmm.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still, you like them because they are from your environment. Every
Yeah.
reader can see those people, and I I created those characters in order to kind of put magnifying glass on some type of personalities that
Mhm.
often kind of we don't see, or we kind of ignore them, and
Mm.
put them in the under the magnifying glass and tell to the reader that actually there might be something interesting in that person.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. When I read a good book, I'm emotionally invested. Like it's like I'm rooting for certain characters,
Yeah,
and other
yeah,
characters, I'm like, okay, who's gonna kill them? Like
yeah,
when's their time? They're doing a lot right now.
yeah,
I just I just want to say for the record, the nice, kind, boring gentleman next to me, do we see what he described himself as? You see the murder mystery writer with the finish edge. I just, just in case anybody didn't notice that, I just want to put that out there. But going back to some of the things that you were talking about, you talked about the importance of community, and
yeah.
that's a huge thing for us. We
Mm.
really feel like some of the best support from writers comes from other writers.
Oh yeah.
So, how do you feel about that? How do you feel like you add or contribute to the community, and how significant was your community when it was time to put this book out?
Well, like I said, in New Zealand, there are not too many writers around,
Mm-hmm.
but I have still from Finland. I have several old friends who are writers, authors, artists. So I have that community kind of thing there, and then to my great pleasure, I have met online writers from UK and United States and Canada, and that has been fantastic because
Mm-hmm.
even though I live here, I feel that I am European,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been traveling a lot in the United States especially during 90s. So I have this connection, and I have relatives in Oregon. So
Mm-hmm.
there's this, like when I was a small boy, I used to get Christmas gifts, presents from Oregon from my relatives, which were
Okay.
small Finnish boy. It was like unbelievable to get these American fantastic toys. So
Yeah.
I was aware that okay, there is a country that is a bigger and can offer so much. So my communities, writing communities, come from UK, USA, and to my great pleasure also from Canada. Not so much here in New Zealand, because here writers don't write so much murder mysteries. There are a couple of writers who are brilliant murder mystery writers, but somehow I have not found my way to these circles here, whereas I have got 10 times more connections from UK, USA, and Canada. I don't know. And maybe this is because I'm European and I'm kind of used to spread my view across more places than just New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
We're a little messed up in America too, so I mean, we love stuff like
Yeah,
Very.
yeah, I know, and it's funny because every time when I came to to the United States, I just admire the way you kind of can deal with all the shit that is going on
Yeah.
without losing your sense of humor. It's just
Yeah.
it's
I think
admirable.
the arts is a big translator
Yeah.
for us. You know,
Yes.
Yeah.
comedy,
Yeah.
acting, writing.
Yeah.
So I love
Yeah.
to hear that you, because I tell her all the time, I love plays. Like I'm excited to get into screenwriting, and
Yeah.
Hmm.
I love seeing someone act through a play, like singing, dancing, and
Yeah.
there's no cuts. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
And
Hmm.
it's live. It happens. It's
Yeah.
and that's why when you ask about what is the thing in reading and books, it's also a live experience. You read a book and then you are in that world
Yeah.
live at that moment,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
and that,
transported.
yeah, that's magic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it gives you kind of feeling that you belong, and you reach, different corners of the galaxies even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. I love it.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's get a little insight on your series. As
Hmm.
well as you can you give us a preview of the first book for people who have never read it before?
Oh yeah. So the first book is The Birthmark Murders,
Okay.
and it starts the whole series because I wanted to write a slow burning start for the series to
Hmm.
introduce the character and give backstories so that it's not just thriller or suspense stuff, but there's a plenty of cultural descriptions of, if you, for example, read this book, you know exactly what is the sauna etiquette in Finland. You know how to go to sauna, and remember that you need to be naked. And there are certain things that, especially my American friends, they were panicking when they came to Finland, and I put them to the test.
Yeah. We might have needed to talk about that before we got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we a little
I'm more than
traumatized. You
happy to
gotta take
give
it
you
slow with
cultural
us.
advice. And in this book, there's it's also circles around the musical, the cabaret musical.
Oh.
Um, and half of the book is actually going back to the cabaret musical, and the brilliant director who directed it but was murdered. And
Mm.
this book is helping people to understand why this guy was murdered, and how. So the murder mystery is tied with theater because,
Mm.
as Shakespeare said, the world is a stage and
Yeah.
we are just mere actors. So it starts with the theater. It
Mhm.
starts with the idea of what is the role we are playing in this on this theater of life.
Yeah.
And and Mr. Pekka Wall, in this book, he has to come in terms with his own personal loss of love and yearning for love.
Hmm.
And there is also a love story in this.
Okay.
So it starts with the theater, with cabaret musical. Life is a cabaret, but like the subtitle says, death is a cabaret, old chum. So
Mm.
it sets the scene for the book. And then
Yeah.
I made a little twist and I wrote Handful. And
Hmm.
Handful is a coming of age story of one of the main characters of the first book. But
Okay.
I really felt that I needed to give reason for readers to believe that a young 23-year-old guy can have a relationship between 60-year-old bloke.
Oh.
So there is this interesting dynamics, and it came
Hmm.
from a documentary where I saw about Leonard Bernstein, the composer and conductor, who
Mm-hmm.
had a steamy relationship with the 25-year-old Japanese bloke when Bernstein was 65.
Mm.
They had steamy, really strong relationship, so much so that this Japanese guy, according to what I remember from the BBC documentary, he became then the manager of Leonard Bernstein's, businesses in Japan.
Wow.
So, so there was this 40, I think 35, 40 years age difference. And I thought that, okay, if I shake this thing a bit, because most detective stories, the detective is this lonely person whose relationship with women is problematic, but usually it's very, very, heterosexual. And I
Mhm.
thought that, what the fuck, I can turn it around. I put, the Sloith as an old bloke, and then there's this young guy. And in this book, I give reason for this young guy to fall in love with much older man.
Mhm.
So that, but also here is a crime, because then when I was about to write this book, I saw again BBC documentary about this Fitchcom, this famous fashion brand whose CEO started to traffic young men across the world and abuse
Mm.
them.
Mm.
And I don't remember the name of the brand anymore, but it was a big thing.
Mhm.
So I put that kind of human trafficking in this book also. And
Mhm.
then it led up, because it's more about the personal story of Pekka Wall and then
Right.
this young bloke. Then in this book, Triumvirate Murders,
Mhm.
it happens in Helsinki. It starts with the president's, Independence Day gala.
Mhm.
In front of all TV cameras, suddenly this young bloke um, asks this Mr. Pekka to marry him.
Mm.
So it starts with the hilarious, thing in front of 2,000 people and all TV cameras.
Oh.
And
Okay, so I love every cover. That's my favorite so far.
oh,
Yeah, they're beautiful.
The
so I made
colors
them
and
myself.
oh, good job. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So in here, this is typical kind of thriller type of thing. There is
Okay.
Kremlin, there's Putin, there's all the Russian spies and everything, because Finnish people know more than is healthy about Russians. So this book is filled with Russian shit. And then I take my readers to with this book, The Maori Murders, to New Zealand. And in this book, the theme is more about how this relationship between Pekka Wall and much younger husband suddenly start to kind of
Oh,
have
husband. So he did say yes.
yes. So, and they happen to have 5-year-old twins
Ooh. Okay.
through kind of surrogate. and
Okay.
and so, because I thought that if Elton John can do it, well, so does my guy. So in this book, actually the twins, the 5-year-old twins, solved the crime.
Okay.
Mm.
And
Okay.
this
Okay.
is filled of New Zealand stuff, but
Mhm.
written in such a way that you don't need to understand New Zealand to
Mm.
understand how it goes. But the
Mhm.
backdrop of that book is New Zealand.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
so that's the fourth book. And now I'm writing the fifth book, which is the final version of it's kind of Pekka Wall's swan song, and it's
Mhm.
called The Final Curtain Murders.
Mhm.
And it goes back to Finland. And I'm now in the middle of writing that one. And the sixth book is then the prequel for all. It is Pekka Wall's, the protagonist's recordings of 3 fairy tales he's telling his
Oh,
twins.
to the twins. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
that's the whole 6 books. Now I have two still to go.
Okay.
So
Oh,
that's the thing.
that
Wow. That's a
that's
strong
amazing.
collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. It because in one book you can't really, tell
Right.
a long story. So
Right.
I split it in 6, because then I could, put different lenses on. Like
Yeah.
in this book, this is the crisis. This is the darkest of them all,
Okay.
because
Mhm.
it's just like in all human relationships, in all, if whether you are gay or straight, and you have been like 7 years together, and suddenly, and then you start to think, okay, is this enough for me, or is this
Mm.
person right for me? It's you
Mhm.
start to see these things that your relationship needs to then evolve, and you
Mhm.
need to grow
Mhm.
as a person when the
Yeah.
first flame goes away and you are not anymore crazy in love, but
Mhm.
life becomes, and you need to take care of feeding the kids and
Mhm.
all those things. And then comes age, because I know something about getting bloody old. So so I put that kind of lens also, because for younger readers, I think it is valuable to see that, okay, even Tuomas, this young bloke, is young. He can still understand what it is to be like when you are much older, and there's this,
Yeah.
dynamics. So within 6 books, I could build the bigger arc than
Yeah.
just within one book.
Yes. Okay. I love it.
That's amazing. So I know that us as writers tend to get very close to our characters. Sometimes they're like us, sometimes they're how we wish we could act, sometimes they're how we wish we didn't act, and we're glad we didn't do that. How do
Mm.
you feel about like coming closer to the end of this writing journey with your main character? Is it kind of bittersweet?
It is. It is, because you spent. Now I have spent 2 years, almost 3 years with Pekka Wall and Tuomas Ylivire and all those other
Yeah.
people. You know them so well, and
Yeah.
they have so much backstory. I could spend the whole day to tell, little details, and I have a huge amount of backstories written, in my Scrivener folder about,
Mhm.
those people. And it becomes very difficult when, for example, in this Maori murders, one of the main uh, one of the person I really liked the most,
Mhm.
I had to kind of kill her, and because that was the part of the story.
Yeah.
But when I wrote that scene, it was unbelievably difficult, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
not as a writing, but
Right.
Right.
emotionally.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember I went up to those eastern hills. I was walking there alone after it was actually 23rd of December when I wrote that scene. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, it was, my goodness, it was just, day before Christmas Eve. And I was walking there, and here it was summer, it was beautiful. And
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that now I killed one person that, for example, many readers told me that she was their favorite. And
Yeah.
Oh.
it was like,
Oh.
All right. Well,
so,
maybe don't make the movie anymore.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So,
sure she understood.
yeah. But she will live on, because she was
Yes.
actually the surrogate for those twins. So,
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
this is
okay, yeah.
spoiler
Oh.
alert.
There's gonna be some tears on them pages. He knew it
Yes.
too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I try to give readers a kind of permission to feel grief, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of stop and sit. Oh, ah. And
yeah.
it's like in the handful there is this coming out story, and I thought that, how do I write a coming out scene that is way different than I have ever seen, but really puts two people close, so close that there's nothing between them. So the father and son are in Finnish sauna, and the
Mm-hmm.
father is washing his son's hair like he did when the son was just 4 or 5 years old. And when
Mm-hmm.
he's washing his son's hair, the son says that, "Daddy, I'm gay."
Mm-hmm.
And do you still love me, or whatever? So I tried it to make this in a sauna, plus 80 degrees humid place where two people are naked, father and son, and there's nothing that separates them. And
Yeah.
suddenly they just realize that it doesn't matter, who you are, as long as you love, and as long as you you let other people to touch you and you touch others. So, and I got about that scene, you know, a few readers have sent me emails about that, you know, it
Oh,
made me cry.
yeah. I can understand. I love how even the message goes beyond like it's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why I write, you know, very tangible things, because in Finnish culture we don't hug, we don't have small talk, we have huge personal space. So if you go in the winter in Helsinki and there's a bus stop and there's minus 25 and
Hmm.
and there's snowing,
Hmm.
people are still having 2 meters distance, even
I,
though they could stay together under the roof,
Yeah.
but no, they have distance, and
Yep.
they wait there until the bus comes, and they never say anything.
you had me at no small talk. I might have to check it out. Just check it out, just for a few days. See how I might have to
Why did you,
travel there a little bit.
why did you say that,
That
Tim?
sounds amazing. You get a lot of
If you
writing done.
if you go to Finland,
Oh my
you
God.
can easily spend with the Finnish guy, you know, the whole day, and you don't need to say anything, but still you have this. Okay, we had good time together.
Mm.
Hmm.
I remember when I flew from Frankfurt to San Francisco with my business partner. The whole flight, we didn't say a word, and we were sitting next to each other. And those days we didn't have money, so we were in economy. So we didn't say anything, but we still had this communication going on. That's
Yes,
Finn. That's
You
Finnish
you
thing.
you see me struggling?
I would fit in perfect there.
Yeah,
Sounds like
I'm
my kind of people.
struggling listening.
You would love to be on a summer cottage, in a summer cottage in Finland when it is, you know, late June and sun never goes down. It's just, you know, in the night you can still read the newspaper, and
Wow.
it is totally silent except some birds maybe somewhere far away owl, and then you are sitting after sauna there, naked, you know, or surrounded by the nature. Maybe your friend is with you, maybe you are alone. Nobody says anything, but you have this belonging. You belong to the
Yeah,
world, and that's beautiful. I miss
it
that.
is.
Yeah, it sounds tranquil.
It does.
So I
It is,
have kind of a unique question.
yes.
Humbly, of course.
Oh,
What do you believe someone could learn from you in your life?
I think I don't want to teach anything, but I want to open people's eyes for seeing different,
Okay.
so that they could be more curious and less
Okay.
judgmental, and
yeah.
and kind of enjoy the tapestry of life that is so multicolored, instead of having, you know, monotonic, you know,
Mm-hmm.
one
Mhm.
shades fit for all. Ah,
Okay, the artist answer. I love it. Be better artists. Yes, I agree.
yeah, and life is art if
Yeah,
you make it so. So
yeah.
Well, one thing I did want to make sure that we touched on before you left us, which is going to be devastating. You talked a lot about your relationship, especially with your son in particular, which I
Mm,
thought was just really beautiful. What has been like happening on this series? Not unintentional, but we've been able to see fathers tell their real stories with their
yeah,
children. And then, you know, over here, we have a lot of misconceptions of either the lack of fathers, the lack of attention or emotional connection with fathers. And it's just not true. And we're just constantly seeing evidence of this. So I would love for you to touch on just like that relationship that you have.
well, my son is one of my best friends, so he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't feel like, you know, son anymore. He's 24 and
Mm-hmm.
living with his girlfriend, having fun. He's an
Mm-hmm.
artist. He's a photographer and game developer
Oh.
and all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love in him is that I see that he is skillfully avoiding the mistakes I made when I was his age. and and he has been teaching me how the young people of modern times kind of see the world. So he he's been essential guide for me to understand what is happening in the world where the young people now are having these uncertainties and things like that. Our relationship is really strong, maybe because when he was born through cesarean section, and I was there. I cut his cord.
Oh.
I gave him his first milk, so we kind of developed this very strong connection. And still, because he's not living anymore with us, I can still feel him. So it's like interesting connection. And I think the biggest privilege and joy in my life has been to have a child with whom I have never had an argument.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I never had any problems with him,
Mhm.
because when he was born, I decided that I accept everything he brings with him, because there
Mhm.
was a reason for him to be born
Yeah,
for
yeah.
us. So and I feel sorry for dads who lose the connection with their children, because
Mhm.
it would be so rewarding and so beautiful if you could let your child to grow up as a person and not as a container of your own,
Mm.
hopes and fears,
Yes.
because you can't live your children's life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you can learn from their life and become richer in that way.
Absolutely.
I
Well, that
agree.
was amazing.
Yeah, that was powerful.
Well, it's just
We-
my life. I just love my son. I more than anything.
yeah,
Yeah. We can tell.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the last book, this is dedicated to him, because when
Oh.
I was writing, I was remembering when he was really strange little 5-year-old, because my wife is Japanese, so our son is this half-blooded prince. He's half
I
Finnish,
love it.
half Japanese, you know,
Yeah.
and now Kiwis. He speaks fluent Finnish and Japanese and English, so
Nice.
he's emotionally very dangerous.
I love it. Okay, so can you let everyone know at home where they can find your books at?
Yep, my books are on Amazon. So if you search Amazon Janus Lucky, you will find my books, or you can go to my website, which is www.januslucky.com or janusluckybooks.com. So it's easy. You can always find me on Amazon or through my website. And I really hope that you go and, provide me my retirement.
Is the
Contribute,
perfume there
people.
as well?
Contribute at home.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so before we get you out of here, just because we love talking to you so much, I would love to know something that you would say to younger you today.
To my younger me, I would say that keep going. Believe, and believe that there's endless possibilities in the world, and don't let the world bully you. Just keep going and keep smiling, like Charles Chaplin said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Life is in a, like Chaplin said, that life is in a close-up tragedy, but in a big picture comedy. So laugh more in front of the mirror.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah, I have to sit with that more.
Hmm.
Thank you
We
for
all
having
needed
Definitely,
me.
that.
definitely taking some of these things with me.
Thank you.
Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you for coming back with us
Definitely.
for a second time. We're gonna get you a third time.
Yes.
We're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been fun. I
Yes.
really hope that your audience will grow, and because you are doing fantastic job, and the work you do with authors is so valuable. So thank you so much, and I hope all the best for you.
Oh, thank you so much. See,
Thank you.
he trying to make sure he coming back.
Yeah. You got 2 more books to talk about. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you
Yes.
hit the share button, make sure you hit the follow button, and make sure you read. All right.
Yes.
Peace, everybody.
Have a good one.